Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys, welcome to episode 152 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So keep sharing these episodes if you find them helpful, and give me a 5-star rating. It helps so much for others to find and hear this message when you do that. Okay, in episode 151, I challenged you to think about whether your daily decisions are making you stronger or weaker. Every decision you make today and every day matters. What time you get up, what time you go to bed, what you eat, whether you exercise or not, whether you're present with your family, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of what you're watching, consuming, reading, listening to. These little decisions add up. When we get overwhelmed with everything that's going on and we don't think the little decisions matter, when that's really all that matters, you taking care of you. I found out this month, and I've talked about this a little bit, but I'm gluten sensitive and I have dairy allergies. Now my joints were sort of telling me something was wrong. Now 3 weeks into not eating gluten or dairy, and I'm already feeling better. But I started a cleanse this week because I also have some heavy metal toxicity. It's no fun. It's not what I want to do. But I'm creating new habits, and they will serve me long term, even though it's not fun short term. Instant gratification is always easier because it's comforting. Now, I know the feeling of excitement that comes from being hungry and then they set the chips down in front of you at a Mexican restaurant. If you're like me, one bad decision can cause several more bad decisions, because you know how you feel the next day after a margarita or 3. Sometimes the next day after you do that, you need a biscuit in your stomach because it's not feeling so good from the tequila and the sugar. But the same goes for good decisions. When you work out first thing in the morning, a lot of times you want to eat healthy the rest of the day because you put in the time, so you don't want to mess that up. How about when you start your day on a positive note? That gets your day going in a good direction rather than starting it with negative news where that's all you're thinking about, which attracts more of the same. And I know it is so easy to say, lighten up. Life is short, eat the thing, and sometimes life does call for that. But is that a treat, or are you finding that's your attitude about everyday life? If you live in America, you do not have to look far to see the result of living a life of instant gratification, what that gives us. It's rare anymore to see someone that really takes good care of themselves in every way, mentally, physically, financially. It's the exception anymore. But no one gets to the end of their life wishing they were less healthy, or had spent less time with the ones they love, or paid less attention to the way they feel. These all come from the small decisions we make every single day. I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were talking about how I just seem much more chill lately, pretty calm. Now, I know why. It's because I spend at least 10 to 15 minutes every day meditating, and I've been doing that probably for the last year and a half. And look, I used to love politics, but I realize it's not good for my mindset, and I still find myself craving that distraction sometimes. And when I do, I remind myself how it makes me feel, how it robs me of my peace. There's nothing about that that's going to make anyone feel better. It doesn't make me stronger. It actually makes me weaker. What's your distraction of choice? Is it making you stronger? If it's not, let's fix it together. We can do that. It just takes consistency. My meditation, for instance, I don't always feel like it's doing something, but the consistency of my practice is showing up in my life in general. Now, you may not think you're doing anything with one workout or one meditation, but the consistency of doing that is where you get the rewards. The consistency of eating healthy, the consistency of exercise, the consistency of mindset work. That's the key in everything we do, and it's the same for all of us. Think about it this way. We all have the same decisions to make, and how we make them is how our life turns out. If someone eats a completely clean diet and exercises consistently, their body's going to look and feel very different from someone that eats a processed fast food diet and barely moves. We all have the same amount of time in the day. We all have to eat. We all have to choose whether we exercise or not. And we all get to choose how we spend our downtime, whether that's driving in the car to work and you're listening to great podcasts, or it's reading a book on self-improvement. We don't have to settle for the norm of just scrolling social media or filling our head with negative news. Every decision you make is either making you stronger or weaker. If two people have the same recipe for a cake, and they follow the recipe the same way, they put everything in the same, the results should be very similar. And that's true for life as well. There's a recipe for getting successful results in anything. If you follow a recipe for getting healthy, you're going to get your version of healthy. So what do you want for your life? My challenge to you this week is decide if you're going to be stronger or weaker in these 3 areas: what you're eating, if you're exercising, and what you put into that head in your downtime. Those are 3 decisions every one of us has to make every single day. Food can be our medicine or our poison. Movement can be energizing and healing, or we can be decaying. And our lives are influenced tremendously by what we feed our minds. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.